Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk all about working out, how I started, what I started with, and where I'm at now. As you can see, you're in my bedroom. So I did start out in my bedroom. Now I'm not here to promote or to talk bad about anything, anyone, any kind of company or anything like that. I am strictly here to tell you how I started my journey, what worked for me, and where I started and where I'm at now. These are the kind of workouts I did that I used to love doing. I did this one so much. My favorite one on this one though, the only thing I would really do on this one is the cardio, and it's pretty much 30 minutes of dancing. I love dancing. So that's what I did, was a bunch of dancing, got my cardio in. And actually with this one, even when I went to trips to Laughlin and stuff, I would bring my laptop, I would bring that, and I would do my workout in the morning. And then I kind of got bored with it because it's the same dancing all the time. And this was my next go-to one. Anything with Tony Horton, I really love. I love his workouts, P90, P90X, any of those. And then I really, really like this one since it was only 22 minutes and you get in a really good workout with that. One of the biggest things also starting out, I would go on walks, just walks around the neighborhood, 10-minute walks. I was creating a habit for myself. So even if it was a 10-minute walk, it was still the time out of the day that I would do as my exercise. And as I went on and I got used to my walks became further and longer and harder. And of course, I was incorporating these other workouts. I would find things that I really liked. It has to be something that you really, really like and enjoy. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And everybody's different. Some people like dancing. Some people like yoga kind of stuff. Toning. Do you like weights? Do you not like weights? Now, I did have, from years and years ago, trying to get fit a long time ago, and it didn't happen. I did have some dumbbells. I had the 5 pounds and 10-pound dumbbells that I did incorporate with the 22-minute hardcore workout, since he does require weights on that. But of course, you can do a lot of the Beachbody stuff is a bunch of body weight, so you really don't have to use weights, but it does help out a lot. So the biggest thing in the beginning is you're trying to make a habit. People that do like really intense workouts when they're first starting out, they're not gonna like it. They might absolutely hate it, and they're just gonna be like, screw this, I'm not doing that, that's way too hard. No. Just like with everything else with the food, you want it to be a progression. Put a timer on for 5 minutes, go for a walk for 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, turn around, come back, you have yourself a 10-minute walk. So after doing that for a little while, hikes. I found hikes to be very, very rewarding for me as far as calories burned and just being out there and just seeing the beautiful world and taking all these awesome pictures. I really enjoy hikes, especially after they're done. 90% of the time, I'm hating the hike. I'm not even gonna lie. Like climbing the mountain, trying to get to where we need to go, I am hating it. I am out of breath. But what I really like about it is that it's not something you can just jump off and just stop. Like, as far as you went in, you're gonna have to walk all the way back. But once you get to the destination, usually I like to do either waterfalls or on top of a mountain so you have a beautiful view. It's so rewarding, and it feels so great to have accomplished that hike or whatever it is that you're doing, and then to make it back and just look back at what you were able to do. Once you're all cooled down and off the mountain or wherever, then it's like, that wasn't that bad. That was actually a lot of fun. But during the hikes, I'm hating it. So hikes were really, really big for me when I first started out. I have been doing a lot more hikes this year so far. Last year, I kind of slacked on it. I did, and I do recommend signing up for the 52 hike challenge. If you just Google that 52 hike challenge, there's also a 6-pack peak that you can do. There's an app that you can download. It's called All Trails. That one's so great. I love being able just to open up the map and kind of see what hikes are around the area that I want to do. After I was hiking for a while, I was only looking for hikes that were 6 miles and longer. I didn't want anything less than that. Anything less than that, to me, I felt like it was just a waste of time. And it made me look at mountains different. Every mountain that I would pass by, I would always want to know, like, can I get up on there? Is there a trail? Is there some way I can get up on this mountain right here? I can totally see that my thoughts were changing, and I did enjoy it. If you have younger kids, that's awesome, because that's weight right there for you. That's free weight. Kids usually want to do what you're doing, or they want to be included somehow. So that's always great. I love when people have kids, because like when I was watching my nieces, I used to use my nieces all the time as weight, or they always wanted to do what I was doing. When I first started the hikes, my niece Riley, she wasn't about it at first. So we kind of stopped for a little while, and then she was like, how come we haven't been on any hikes lately? And I'm like, what? You like it? You miss it, huh? Okay. And she started bringing over her little shoes so she can go hiking, and sometimes we would just hit like that's a little mountain here. It's not even really a hike. It was just a good incline on a street that we would go ahead and do really quick. Things like that. That would only take me about 10 minutes. And it was a really good incline. That was a great workout. That 10 minutes is so much better doing that than not doing anything at all. And then also, like I said, I was doing a lot of walks. So what I would do, I was in a routine where I would go to my aqueduct and go do a whole loop. It took me about 45 minutes to do the whole loop before I went and picked up my nieces for the day. And then we would go do fun stuff, whether it be a hike or a workout here that I was swinging them around or having them on my back and squatting. But kids are great to work out with. They're super great. You can totally use them. I have videos on my Instagram. I have a friend that she's a new mama, and we use baby in our workout routine for the day. You can check that out. Super cute. Willpower. So I get this question a lot. How do you stay motivated? So willpower. You got to work your willpower just like you work any muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it's going to get. I think it has a lot to do with making it a habit. Your willpower will get stronger. It's just something that you do now, and it's even if you don't really feel like working out that day, at least you'll go for like a 10-minute walk. A 10-minute walk is going to be better than nothing, and it's so good for the mind too. But staying motivated, I joined diet bets, I joined little groups, I did join a friend's Beachbody group. So anything that can kind of keep you accountable. I was posting on Instagram a lot. That kept me accountable, because now it's out there that I'm working out, and I didn't want to look like a failure and not lose the weight or not do what I said I was doing. So that was kind of like heavy on my heart, knowing that people are out there and they're seeing or watching, even if it was like 2 people. Like it was in the back of my mind, like, oh, I need to post and like show that I'm still active and I'm still going. And it wasn't just something that I started again and I fell through again. Of course, following people that are inspirational, that'll get your butt up and moving. One of my biggest motivations is my music. I have to have my music. I still struggle to this day sometimes wanting to work out. And it's just, I'll put on a song. There's certain songs that I go through that'll be my favorite at the time. And as soon as I put that on, it completely changes my mood, and it gets me into the mood of wanting to work out. And that's my number one motivation, is my music is what gets me up and out of bed and just gets me in the mood to start working out. And then once you do start moving, it becomes really easy, and you really get into it. Your body warms up, and it just, you're able to finish the workout. So I didn't really have any kind of routine as far as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like this is what I do on Monday, this is what I didn't. I just did what I felt like I wanted to do that day. And I highly recommend that if you're just starting out, just do whatever it is that you want to do that day. I wouldn't really follow something where it's like, okay, well, you have to do legs and weights this day. On Tuesday, you have to do this and this and this. No, that wasn't going to work for me. Like, if there was a certain workout that day that I didn't want to do, I wasn't going to work out. What I started doing was writing down moves that I actually would want to do that day. And I would write down about 3 to 5, maybe 6 different moves that I would actually do that day. Whether it would be jumping jacks, mountain climbers, V sit-ups, anything like that. It would be random things. I would have legs, arms, shoulders, core, all in one day. But it wasn't like I was training them like crazy. It was just getting me moving. And that's what really counted. As long as you're moving, that's great. Write down moves that you want to actually do, moves that you will actually do. Because I would find myself, even in the Beachbody workouts, if they were doing moves, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. No, I don't feel like doing that. That makes me so tired. I wouldn't do it. I would just stand there. So I would rather be doing a move that I actually want to do than just standing there and do nothing, right? And I would do that on the daily. I would just write down what I wanted to do that day. Even if it was 10-15 minutes, 10-15 minutes is more than not doing anything at all. And sometimes in that 10-15 minutes, you're completely out of breath, you're drenched in sweat, and it was an awesome workout. It was so great. And you actually did it all and finished it. And even if there are moves that you see that you think that's way too hard, or you can't do that yet, maybe push-ups are really hard for you, everything can be modified. Everything can be at a beginner's level. And don't be afraid to be a beginner, or don't be afraid to say that you can't do something, because we all started out at the bottom. We all started out as beginners, and just like babies have to learn how to walk, you build up that strength and you learn how to do it, and you're just able to do it. And you just have to start out small, or whatever you can start out with that day, and you grow from there. You get stronger, and before you know it, you're doing the full move without modifications, and there you go. So don't ever be afraid of moves that you can't do yet, okay? Because you could always modify them. Some moves I had no idea what that name was, so I would Google it. I would watch a couple of different videos on how to do it, what the best form looked like to do it that way, because safety was always like my number one. I wanted to make sure I was doing form correctly. That's always very, very important, because you don't want to be working out, doing all these moves, and then you're doing them wrong, and now down the line your body's gonna be hurting because you've been doing that wrong the whole time. So my number one to follow for moves and workouts like that, form would be Move You. I think it's Move You Official. Those guys are hilarious. I love watching them. I love how body is built, how strong your body is, how you can fix all these problems if you just move the right way. For years and years and years, I had back problems. Oh my gosh, I had a lot of back problems. But building all the muscle up around it, and my core, you know, your core is like a corset. It wraps around to the front, from the back to the front. So strengthening all my muscles around my body has helped so much, and I don't have pain. My feet are very strong, my back is really strong, and I just feel good all around. Learning how your body moves and how it functions and proper form is so important, and it's something that I would study a lot. And of course there's people that do things that are like, I don't know about that. If you're looking at that and it doesn't look right, it might not be. Totally look for somebody that is certified in that department. Follow them. Get yourself in front of a mirror so you can actually see what you're doing, or record yourself. It's amazing what you will find when you record yourself and you think you're doing something great, and you play it back and you're like, wow, that was horrible. Let's try that again. This is where I started out. Couple months later, I actually found CrossFit pretty early on. I thought it was a lot later in my journey, but I guess it wasn't. I was completely blown away with what these athletes in the CrossFit Games could do. It blew me away. I was so mesmerized and inspired, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to know. I'm like, they're just so strong. It just looks so fun. Some of the things that they're doing, like, I'm not aspiring to get a body like that, but to be able to do some of the stuff that they do, it was amazing to me. I did do gymnastics when I was younger, so a lot of the stuff that involves gymnastics, I'm very, very interested in that. That looks like so much fun, and I want to be able to build up the strength to be able to do some of the things like that. Holding a handstand, be able just to bust out a handstand right there in the middle of the room without falling over. I'm still working on that. And on the rings, I would love to have room to work on the rings. I don't have room for that, but I do work on strength, on holding myself up on the rings and different things. I highly recommend watching the documentary of the CrossFit Games, A Decade of Fitness, I believe it's called, and there's a couple more that have come out after that, and there's some before that actually. I watched all of them. I follow a ton of those athletes. My motivational inspiration that I watch, that I get motivated to keep on going and pushing myself. So anyways, I did start in here, and then with CrossFit, we're gonna go ahead and move to the workout room. All right, so now we are in my workout room, which didn't actually start out as a workout room. This used to be an office. I used to have my own business, the Rockstar Nails. I'd gotten so much into fitness that I wanted to change this room solely just for my fitness. I have slowly built up my room here with all the goodies that you see here. Most everything in here was secondhand. I found it on OfferUp. I found it on Facebook sale pages, mostly on OfferUp. There's always people that are trying to get rid of their weights. It's just in their way. They want it out of there. It's just bulky and heavy, and they don't use it. They just want it out of there. So you can find weights usually really, really cheap. And that's what I've done over the years. This is 3 years of accumulating all this stuff. Now the box there, my husband did build that jump box for me. I found some plans online and we went ahead and built that. You can, of course, there's a ton of different jump boxes you can buy from Walmart or whatever, or of course, maybe from OfferUp. So as I got more into the CrossFit kind of workouts, I started building up my collection of weights. And I was always very interested in being able to deadlift and to be able to do a snatch. That's one of my favorite moves, is deadlift and snatches. I just recently started to do snatches and cleans because form is very, very important to me. And that one, I feel like you should have somebody that's qualified with you to show you exactly how to do that, how to perform it safely, where to actually start from, not just to jump straight into that movement. I am so lucky and fortunate that I do have a really good friend she is certified in the CrossFit as a coach and teaching all that. So she's helped me so much get me to where I'm at, sending her videos, how she can watch me frame by frame, and so she nitpicks every single little thing, which I freaking love because it just makes me that much better. And then I do have other friends on Instagram that are also certified, so they help me out, they critique me, and I am all open about critique. You have to be able to be humble and learn from somebody so that you can progress in the right way. Don't ever take it hard like they're talking trash about you. Take it in a good way. It's coming from a good place. They're only there to help you form better, perform better. Another one of my favorites, and also as a beginner, jump rope. Jump rope is a great workout. I remember as a kid, it was nothing. As an adult, it's pretty hard now. But in the CrossFit world, they do double unders. So that's the rope going under you twice. and I really was interested in being able to do that. It took me about a week to finally string like 6 of them together, and I still whip myself quite often. Also, another big thing I want to talk about, I didn't talk about, is a Fitbit. This was another motivator, because this right here, you can connect with other people, you can do challenges, and I'm very competitive. So I was always trying to get in like the most steps out of everybody, or winning the weekend hustle, or the weekday hustle, or whatever, the weekend warrior, or whatever it was. So this was actually really great because it kept me accountable. I did love to try to get all my steps in. I love to see how far I can go with it, how active I was every day, and then being able to see how many calories you burn that day. I actually did set it to, you can set it to steps, like it'll alert you when your steps have been reached, or you can alert you once you have reached so many calories that you want to burn within that day. Some people have Samsung watches, some have the Apple watches, stuff like that. They're all great. They help keep you motivated, keep you accountable, get connected with a group of people so you can challenge each other. Friendly competition is always great. Recovery is important. Rest days are very, very important if you're working really hard, especially if you're training with weights. It's very important to get rest. Don't try to be a total badass and you never take a day off. It's very, very important for rest. It's very important for your muscles to recover. Things that can help with recovery is stretching, foam rolling, soaking like in an Epsom salt bath. If you have a pool or a warm pool that you can get into, just getting those muscles moving. No, it's very low impact. Just getting the muscles moving will help get blood flow to the sore areas, and that'll help with recovery also. Of course, lots of water, good food. Just like with my food, I made it a progression. I started out with like 10-minute walks, going on hikes all the time, keeping track of my Fitbit, how well I'm doing there. Really built from there, and I had more of a desire. My body was changing. I was actually starting to see definition, and I wanted to keep going. So that's a motivation also, is, you know, when you start actually seeing results yourself, other people I think will start seeing results before you do. And that's another important thing, of course, to take pictures. You always want to take pictures. As much as you're going to hate it, it's going to be something great to actually look back so you can actually see a difference, because like I said, other people might see the change before you do. So you want to be able to do that side by side and really show yourself that, wow, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm doing great. Like, there's a difference, and that's going to keep you going. That keeps you motivated. It keeps me motivated. So I grew from little walks to all these weights that I have now. And I'm doing my first Spartan race this Sunday. I'm so excited and nervous about that. So I hope this helped you guys start out with just making it a habit. Do the moves that you want to do, even if it's like 10 of each thing. Maybe even if it's 7 minutes. As long as you're getting something in, you're making it a habit, you'll start building from there. Look where I'm at. I hope you guys have a nice day. See you later. Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Keith. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you click the like button below. If you're new here, please make sure you click the subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Be sure to check out the entire Weight Loss Stories community at WlStories.com/map, or just click on the link in our Instagram bio. Thank you again.